What's going on there, YouTube? This is SEO0320 representing JVS. So I'm back for spoiler-filled review for Suicide Squad. Y'all have no idea. Real talk, real rap. I actually had planned this elaborate kind of like video just for Suicide Squad. I was gonna do a skit. If you go to the description bar below, definitely go and check out Iman Snow's review for Suicide Squad as Harley Quinn. I thought that was freaking dope. I had something similar. I was going to either be the Deadshot, or I was either going to be the Joker. Can y'all imagine me as the Joker, beard and everything? Probably saw like a really random picture. But anyway, that fell through because I just came back with my boo from Virginia Beach. Had a great time, had an awesome time. A lot of videos I've been popping up for that. Probably going to post a little bit more. But let's get down to the brass tacks. How was the Suicide Squad, the movie? For me, y'all, I actually had a great time. I looked at it the first time, and oh, by the way, this is a full spoiler review. So if you've not seen the movie, take this, put it in your watch later, come back to it, because I'm about to go and spoil all the goods. And I mean, they're good. Really, really. I just say it. Anyway, I think I actually really enjoyed it. I mean, the first time I watched it, I was kind of like, trying to lower my expectations going in, which I think that'd be the best thing to do. If you have this preconceived notion that you're going to see a lot of Harley Quinn in her backstory, if you're going to see a lot of Joker in his backstory, you're going to have a lot of sequences with Batman in the movie, you're not going to get that in this movie. It's going to be kind of like let down in a sense, because your expectations are here and this is what it got. It's not to say the movie's bad, it's actually a really entertaining, awesome film in a lot of different respects. So I'll go into it. For me, alright, I'll say this before I start the spoilers. I'm going to make a whole alternate video, and my whole entire likable expression like this is going to change to something else when I talk about this other video, because the other video is going to be about the things that were left out of this film. And I'm going to have my own choice of words about that in a whole different video with commentary later on. So just stay tuned for that a little bit later on tonight. Anyway, going into the movie, I had no idea that they were going to give me this amazing Harley Quinn story arc. Like, the way that they actually bring her character into the fold and showing her, one of the first sequences they show is Amanda Waller talking to the government about the metahumans. Whether you know it or not, the beginning of this movie is talking about the end of Batman vs Superman, that Superman is dead. They even showed the sequence of actually him, you know, like, everybody paying homage to him. It just didn't show the actual grave. I wish they would have actually showed the uncovering and actually showed the tomb there of Superman, but I don't know why they didn't do that. It went all throughout that before the opening title started, but it was a good introduction to Amanda Waller for me from a perception standpoint, because the things that she does in this movie are just derangedly evil. And it was like, when I sat there and watched her, you know, talk about, you know, Superman being gone, and she just had this smile over her face. And now, all right, she has levels of control, you know. But what she didn't assess was Batman. Batman gonna be in the fold in this movie. So for me, I realized that with Batman and with her in the end credit sequence, whether y'all know it or not, that was all a nudge for the Justice League. That is how Bruce Wayne is able to find everybody. That is the reason why he's in her pocket, but she knows that he's Batman. And it was like they were butting heads already. If any of y'all know the animated series, y'all know y'all love their character dynamics. And I think that just that alone was awesome mid-credit sequence for me, because I wish there would have been a payoff for that with Batman or Superman. Imagine if we had seen like Lex Luthor going to Arkham Asylum or Belle Reve or whatever. That would have been something dope. And I'll talk about that in what was left out as well. But with her, Amanda Waller, the sequence, the things that she does, like when she first sees Harley Quinn, like I said, Harley Quinn was like, "Are you the devil?" I'm like, maybe. Something to that nature. And there's just some of the different things that she did, I was just like, wow. Viola Davis nailed the part. When she was in, like, you find out the bunker, the whole entire mission was try to find, like, a specific asset that they're trying to take out of the city, Midway City, that's actually being attacked by these two witches or warlocks or whatever they are from a century standpoint. And the group was supposed to go in and pull the asset out. They didn't know what the asset was. Will went in there and found Flagg, and he was like, "Wait, what?" And the whole entire time she's been like working with them behind the scenes, trying to help them out. Yo, Viola Davis is a G for this. She straight up shot everybody down. And I was like, what did she just do? And she was like, they're not cleared for this. It doesn't matter. I was like, yo, really? Will was straight up like, yeah, she's G. She's G status. The other thing, Will, the sequence with him and Batman, how many of y'all freaking geeked out? Like, I mean, I know for a fact there's more sequences with all of them in Batman, but they wanted to keep it centrally focused. And that's the thing that that's the reason why I'm not so upset about the things that were missing, but I have my own nudges about that a little bit later on. You just have to stay tuned for that in a different video. But when I saw freaking Deadshot with his baby girl and talking and trying to get her out, all of a sudden you see the bag show up and like he started like going hand in hand, fist to fist with him. I was like, oh snap. And I love that about his character. One of the things that I actually really loved was when Enchantress tried to like control his mind. She did that to Harley, she did that to him. And when he did it with him, she showed him like another way where it was like he had killed Batman. And from that perception, it made him believe that that's what he really wanted. And it shows like the different balances that he's having with light and dark. Like Rick Flagg, one moment, he was like in the chopper before it like crashed down. He was like, man, you're just gonna run, tail, and go. You're just a hero for hire or whatever, you know. And they get to the open space where all these creatures start coming out, these putties that I would call them, from Power Rangers. They start going in and just like all of a sudden just Deadshot just goes on, like if you play Halo, like kill streak on these dudes, and it was just like do. I was like, everybody started backing up. It was just like, wow, this is a dangerous man. And that's the thing that I loved about that, because Deadshot is so precise that he honestly could have gotten rid of most of them. He could have killed most of the good guys and actually turned on the bad guys if he really wanted to. But he had an honor about him among thieves, and as well as like just from a skill set, he really wanted to be an asset to them and help them out. It wasn't just for money. He was doing it for his own means, and in essence for his daughter. Because there was one sequence that I talked to Ray about, and she was wondering like, what does this mean, you know? And Enchantress was trying to control him one last time. Like, regardless what you want to say, that whole Enchantress mess was a hot mess. I will tell you that much. Like, she was cool up until I'll go into that in a second. Give me a second. When Will got an understanding, he got to get the charge pushed into the machine, and he has to shoot it. Everybody knew he's gonna make that shot. In slow motion, while it's there, all of a sudden he sees like a vision of his daughter in slow motion, and it's like he easily could have stayed focused on her, you know. And she even said, she's like, Dad, like the only way you'll be able to be free is to let this happen, you know. And I was like, this is nudges for him from a morale standpoint that he's an amazing character, and I hope to see him more. Even because he pulled up, made the shot, and I was like, that's Big Will right there. I love that. Even when he was with his daughter, I thought that was a beautiful sequence. But I don't know whether I want to go into this negative spoiler. I'll go ahead and just get her over with. Enchantress in the beginning of the movie, I was with a girlfriend. I was telling her because they were showing her backstory, and they were kind of glazing through it because a lot of the spoilers showed a little bit more with her and Rick Flagg and their dynamics and just her in general. And it was going so fast, you know, but I was like, when they got to the orders, I was like, it's going to be some dark stuff, baby. I was like, cover your eyes, because that jump was dark. It was pretty dope. Like, I actually really loved it. Even when she was in the government building, she was like Amanda Waller was like, go get it, baby, or something like that. Came back with all these schematics. The government agent was like, what in the world? She's sitting there still touching them. I was like, those moments were cool. It was until she met up with her brother, bro, who kind of is the catalyst villain of this movie, but really not. And after that point, man, like it just became like a mess from a lot of different ways. Like it was entertaining, but it became like this same cookie cutter mold of villains. And this is the thing, like, this is no knock to Marvel because I love Marvel, but most of their villains are not that good. They aren't. They just aren't. Like, it's just like, if I looked at Thor 2, right? I love what happened with Loki. I love what happened with his mom and Odin and everything. I love those moments, but the villain was just trash. And that's the same thing with this one. Like, the brother of Enchantress was some garbage. He was some CG garbage that was just used as a catalyst to get her to unearth the other side of herself, you know, and it didn't serve enough time to be able to play on like what's going on with the other side of Enchantress, like the girl behind that, you know. It never gave enough time to actually do that, and that's the reason why the villain isn't fleshed out enough. It's like, who's the real villain, you know? And even with the whole making of the machine, it's like it feels like Enchantress just kind of misunderstood what's going on. And I don't know, they just kind of missed a step with that one. I think that they can really rework her character and give her more layers later, because she's not dead, just FYI. But it was like, I don't know, a lot of people picking at her, she's making this little dance or whatever. I was laughing. It wasn't something that was gonna be like tearing the movie down for me, because I can tell you some terrible mess that I haven't seen. But I don't know, I just thought that was kind of strange. But for me, I feel sad for the actual actress, because everybody's gonna be knocking her for years for that portrayal. And I don't know if there was more dimensions to her character, but it just kind of shined over the wrong way in a lot of different perspectives. Because even with the fight sequence with her going up against all the Suicide Squad, I thought it was really cool and really good choreographed, but I couldn't see her, you know what I'm saying? So it wasn't like, I don't know. Yeah, let's move forward. Anyway, with Harley Quinn, all the sequences with her and Jared Leto, they dominated every scene they were in. And that's my point to a fault. If they would have added all the sequences that were supposed to be for Jared Leto, supposed to be for her, dude, that would have been their movie. And in a lot of respects, real talk, a lot of us out here probably would have said, just give us a Joker and Jared Leto, or a Joker, Jared Leto, and Harley Quinn, Margot Robbie movie, and just leave it be. And just add in other characters. And that's the thing, that would have defeated the whole purpose of trying to find symbolicism behind all the other characters, such as Diablo. Diablo's backstory alone was amazing, with him, with his daughter, or not his daughter, but his kids and his wife, and what happened with him, and what he's dealing with, these inner demons inside that he's always had, and his power is untamed, and just his need for it, you know what I'm saying? I thought that was amazing. His character, probably one of the best characters I've seen in a long time, that just came out of nowhere. I think that I compare him kind of like the Rocket from Guardians of the Galaxy, because I was like, I didn't expect to like his character, real talk. And I mean, for him to kind of like shine and have this random CG moment at the end, I can forgive that, because it was not expressed to me what was the depth of his character. Unless I actually did comic book research, I wouldn't have known. So for me, just going from viewer perspective, I loved it. Like, I loved everything about his character and the way that he like shined in so many different sequences, even with Will, even with the group. I think the bar sequence was the one that solidified him, when Harley Quinn was like, you need to own that stuff. But going back to Harley and Joker, like, I mean, them in the club, them in the car, there's so many sequences. But I think for me, what really tided it over was the moment where I first saw Joker, him and her in Arkham Asylum, and I just saw them looking at each other, almost like they were about to kiss, her falling in love with him. And then it transferred later on in another flashback when she's kind of looking over the edge over this high up distance, when she was like, I need to get some cardio. And it flash forwards back to before she jumped into the back of the Ace Chemicals plant. And he was talking with her and saying this different kind of stuff. And I love the musical score for that moment. There are a couple different scores for that same exact score that happens for that. I need to find the song, because it fits their mad love perfectly. I just love those sequences. If those were drawn out more, absolutely fine. But for what I got, it was gold. Even with Jared, like the moments that he was on screen, coming out of a van, like torturing that guy or doing whatever he needed to do to get the job done, he was so deranged and so maniacal and so just strange. It's straight up. People have said like he's like a Scarface mixed with something else, and it's really true. I mean, a lot of ways, the animated Joker to me is best represented by him, like in every kind of way, because the animated version of Joker was a straight up gangster, and I mean, like that's his character. Like he I think to me is the most intimidating Joker that I've seen, because Heath's Joker was sick. He's scary and sick, but Jared's is the intimidator. And that's the thing, like, I haven't seen a Joker that legitimately, I'm sitting there looking in this man's eyes, I'm like, dude, he's about to kill somebody. Like, the way he handled Common, I was like, wow. And I'll go more into my whole thoughts about that whole deleted scene stuff a little bit later. But I have to say, Margot Robbie, Jared Leto killed it. Will Smith nailed it. Everybody was on the game. Viola Davis was on it. Even the other members of the Suicide Squad. Killer Croc, the moments that he was in there, everybody gonna kind of be like, play the race card with it. Like, he sound like, you know, like a country XYZ. But, I mean, from what I remember from the animated feature, that's kind of how he talked. That's kind of how he was. And I actually enjoyed his moments. Like, there was one moment they were in the bar, and Harley was like, you know, we're all ugly. He was like, speak for yourself, dawg. I'm beautiful. And then he just, I was like, what? So, I mean, I love this character. Like, I mean, I don't know. Some people probably had problems with it, but for me, what I remember from the animated feature is like, I mean, that's kind of how I would think of him. And I think that he had a lot of awesome sequences. And that's the thing, the action sequences were dope. Like, every action sequence that I kind of saw, minus the CG bit at the end with the Enchantress, I loved. And I think I was going and assessing in my head that I want to give it a little bit higher rating. I don't think I can give it a full 8. But I think I'm going to upgrade it to like a 7.8 out of 10. Like, instead of a 7.5 that I left for that. Because I really enjoyed the film, man. Like, I didn't have this preconceived notion of what I was going to get. I knew going in, people were already trash talking it. I knew going in there was going to be scenes with Jared Leto and other people that were going to not be there. And so when I got scenes like the freaking Flash intercepting Boomerang and knocking him down, and by the way, John Courtney was awesome. He was every sequence, like the moment where he was with this little pinky, which is a pink freaking unicorn, and just doing stuff. Like, and the way he set up Slipknot, which everybody knew he was gonna die. Like, the dude was just awesome, man. I loved it. But like I said, I think that those surprising moments of having Batman intercept Deadshot, having him intercept like Harley Quinn when she was like, thought she was drowned, and then she freaking almost knifed Batman. I thought that was freaking dope. And just the mannerisms behind Margot Robbie with Harley Quinn, those nudges, like when you get that Alex Ross picture, like moment that kind of happened when they were just holding each other like that, or even when they showed her in her old outfit, oh my gosh, it was gold. And there was one sequence with Jared Leto when he had all these knives and stuff around him, and all these little other things. Like, to me, I think somebody had said that those are the different victims. He keeps different items from victims of people that he kills, or like his ended or whatever. And I think that was just wow. So I mean, for me, I was highly entertained. I love the imagery. I love the soundtrack. The soundtrack was forced in a lot of different ways, which I'll express more of that and my issues with that in my alternative talk video about the things that are missing and the things that are deserving of a director's cut, an alternative cut. And I'll leave that at that. This movie deserves an alternative cut because the understanding is that they took one side, they took another side, and they merged the two together. So that means that somewhere there's a light version of this movie, and then there's the version that David Ayer had, which is more of a dry or darker kind of tone, which probably has a lot of the Joker stuff, which that to me, it needs and deserves to, whether it's rated R or not, it deserves to be seen as the light of day. Or even if they take both, like, and just give it to us. Give us all three. Because real talk, like, I feel that Jared Leto, if his performance is what I think it was, it could have been potentially Oscar worthy, but there's not enough screen time to actually suffice for that. And I don't have a problem with that from an entertainment standpoint, because that made me still enjoy the movie. But for him, that's what I'm going to talk more about that in my other video. But all in all, I give Suicide Squad a 7.8 out of 10. I'm just playing, y'all. Anyway, hopefully y'all enjoyed that review, spoiler review for Suicide Squad. Keep it locked. JVS, we ain't gonna stop. I need to get some sleep. I had to do this last video. I'll talk to y'all soon. Peace. Did I forget anybody? Yeah, I talked about Slipknot. Forget it. Anyway, peace.